Hello, everybody. You're very welcome to this webinar from our School of Modern Languages, Literatures and Cultures. I'm delighted that so many of you could join us here today. It's a beautiful sunny autumn day in Maynooth, and I hope it's nice wherever you are around the world. We have three academics with us today from the School of Modern Languages. We have Julia, Valerie and Rodrigo. They will introduce themselves in turn, and they're going to go through all of the wonderful programs that we have on offer in the school. Rodrigo is going to lead, so we have his slides here ready to go, and the others will also follow. When the presentations are finished, we will have plenty of time for questions. So if you put them into the chat, I think it's on the right-hand side of the screen that you're looking at, and we will go through them, we will answer them, we will call out the questions and go through them. So Rodrigo, if you are ready, please go ahead there with your presentation.
Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. It is a pleasure to be here presenting the postgraduate programs that we offer at the School of Modern Languages, Literatures and Cultures at Maynooth University. Our School of Modern Languages, Literatures and Cultures was created in 2010 by joining three departments that were previously working within the university, the Department of French, German and Spanish Studies. And since then, the school has been growing, expanding its student numbers and the programs it offers both at undergraduate and postgraduate levels, with the incorporation of Chinese studies and this year the new unit in applied linguistics and TESOL. So we're looking forward to continue expanding and offering more and better programs in the future. Our head of school is Professor Valerie Heffernan, a specialist in German studies and with a particular focus on gender studies. And she has been leading a very prestigious and big motherhood project with universities from all over Europe. And we are part as a school, our research staff is part of the Art and Humanities Institute, and we participate in the different initiatives and the different research projects that the Institute hosts as part of the university. The Arts and Humanities Institute aims to lead European research efforts by fostering interdisciplinary collaboration, pursuing competitive funding opportunities, and producing impactful scholarship. And within the Institute, we have a series of research areas of expertise, such as critical Anthropocene, critical medical humanities, intersectional humanities, the Motherhood Project, multilingualism, interculturalism and social cohesion, creative practice and embodied knowledges. And the research staff in our school participates in most, if not all, of these research areas. So we can contribute to the university's overall efforts to produce world-leading research. To talk about the postgraduate programs that we offer in the school, these are the ones offered in French, Spanish, German, and Chinese studies. We have the PhD, 4 years full-time, 6 years part-time, the MA in each of these languages and cultural areas, 1 year taught masters, 2 years part-time, and the MLit, a 2-year research masters, 3 years part-time as well. So PhD, MA, MLit, the PhD, taught masters, research masters, we offer them in each of our language areas. And additionally, we have the French, Spanish, and German for teaching at post-primary level, which I will give some details in a few slides. To begin with, the PhD, MA, and MLit programs, as I said before, we have the PhD, which is obviously a unique opportunity to undertake a substantial, original research project in the fields of literature, culture, and language. It is designed for highly motivated students who want to do research with a strong academic background, and these programs combine independent research with professional development and academic training. We offer not only supervision in a specific area, but also classes and modules that will allow PhD students to become independent, successful researchers. And our MA, it is a taught master's that builds on undergraduate study by developing a higher level of linguistic fluency, cultural literacy, and critical thinking. The modules in this program are interactive and seminar-based, allowing for discussion, and are conducted in the target language, fostering an immersive learning environment. And finally, the research masters, the MLit. It is a research degree designed for students who want to pursue independent study of culture, literatures, and languages. And the MLit allows students to develop and complete an original research project while receiving personalized one-to-one supervision from academic experts in the field. So the MLit, it is a good step towards a future PhD. In this sense, what we offer as part of the PhD, MA, and MLit programs is supervision and teaching by experts in the connections between culture, language, and some of the most pressing social challenges of our globalized times. So, for example, we have supervised and completed PhD projects in the school in areas such as modern and contemporary literature, cinema, and visual culture, gender, sexuality, motherhood studies, trauma, memory, the afterlives of political violence, climate crisis and the Anthropocene, post-colonial histories and identities and migration, and the medical humanities. And by joining our programs, you will be part of a research community. We provide training in research methods and career development through modules, but also interactive workshops. We have interdisciplinary research seminars for PhD students, but also for the wider academic community by all our research staff. And finally, our postgraduate students benefit from our international academic network and conferences, both in Maynooth and abroad. You will have the opportunity to engage in international academic events and also internal seminars, workshops, and modules. In terms of the graduate outcomes, for beyond academia, for professional careers, our graduates move on to secondary and third level teaching following the master's program for teaching in secondary schools, at least in Ireland, but also translation and interpretation services in Ireland and the broader European Union, cultural organizations and NGOs, European Union institutions, translation, interpretation services, and global businesses, and finally, multinational companies, legal and financial services. So our graduates have developed careers in very different and complementary areas of the job market, but also within academia in terms of research-led careers. We have master's students who have progressed to doctoral study in Ireland and internationally, also moved on to academic publishing, editorial work, and cultural programming, teaching and lecturing in universities and secondary schools, especially those who have finished a PhD, and finally, policymaking in education, culture, and the arts. So whatever your career prospects, if you're aiming for the job market beyond academia or within academia, these MAs, MLITs, and PhDs are able to offer you adequate training. As I said before, we also have the postgraduate program for teaching at post-primary level in French, Spanish, and German. So a flexible suite of programs designed for prospective post-primary teachers in secondary schools who need to acquire subject-specific credits to meet the Teaching Council of Ireland's requirement. To become a secondary teacher of French, Spanish, or German, you need to have a specific amount of credits in specific modules as part of your undergraduate and postgraduate education. So we offer those modules to fulfill the Teaching Council's requirements. For example, depending on the amount of credits that people need, we offer different options: a postgraduate diploma, postgraduate certificate, professional certificate. The amount of credits that students need will depend on the kind of undergraduate and postgraduate education they had before. So these programs allow you to build your own pathway by selecting from modules in translation, literature, film, and teaching foreign languages. We offer flexibility for those who need to balance their studies with other professional or personal commitments. And for these programs, there is partial funding through a government, an Irish government initiative called the Post-Primary Languages Initiative. So there is a partial funding that will cover the fees. And as I said, these diplomas and certificates for teaching at post-primary level are useful to complete the specific credits that the government of Ireland requires from post-primary teachers of languages. It is a complement to the training that you will have received in education, your master's in education. So you can move on to teach these specific subjects, French, Spanish, and German. Moving on to the specific language areas that we have in the school, we can begin with Spanish and Latin American Studies, established in 1999. And between languages, Mercedes Carballo Abengosar, who is a specialist on Spanish literature and culture, David Conlon, a specialist in Latin American literature and culture, Richard Huddleston, a specialist in Catalan studies and translation from Catalan, Spanish, and English, Rodrigo Lopez Martinez, myself, a specialist in Latin American literature and cinema, and Shanire Salvidea, specialist on linguistics as well and second language acquisition. So a mix of specialists on culture, literature, cinema, linguistics as well. Same for French studies. In French studies, we have research staff such as Onya Larkin, who is a specialist on French modern and contemporary French literature and culture. Loïc Vogdeau, as well, a specialist on French culture with special focus on gender studies and medical humanities. Elise Ritchie, also a specialist on linguistics, especially social linguistics and language revitalization. And Julie Rogers, also another expert on French culture with a focus on gender and motherhood studies. Moving on to German, we have staff like Cordula Berking. Also, she's a specialist on German literature and culture, as well interested on the question of gender in particular. Clive Earls, a specialist in linguistics and foreign language education. Linda Short, she specializes on German literature and film from the 20th and 21st centuries with a focus on trauma and political violence. Finally, in Chinese studies, which incorporates both the teaching of Mandarin Chinese with cultural studies, with experts such as Yinjia Liu, a specialist in applied linguistics, and Xiaoxiang Liu, a specialist in literature and culture from China as well. So now I will let my colleague Julia continue with the presentation of the programs in Applied Linguistics and TESOL.
Thank you, Rodrigo. Applied Linguistics and TESOL is the newest member of the School of Modern Languages, Literatures and Cultures family. We were established in 2025, and we will offer the new MA TESOL and EMI, and we will also continue to run the popular taught MA in Applied Linguistics and Intercultural Studies. I'll tell you about all these programs in a minute. We conduct collaborative and interdisciplinary research. Here's us. I am a specialist in English language teaching, EMI, and academic writing practices. Then I also have a colleague called Mark Hennessy, who is a specialist in English for academic purposes, assessment, and critical thinking. Another colleague is Katie Reschenhofer, specialist in literary and cultural studies and also English for academic purposes. And there are a variety of programs that we offer within our section. Similar to the language and culture programs that Rodrigo has mentioned, we offer 1 year full-time taught MA program in Applied Linguistics and Intercultural Studies. We offer a structured 4-year PhD in Applied Linguistics and Intercultural Studies, or a research master's, which is a 2-year full-time program also in Applied Linguistics and Intercultural Studies. Then there will be the new program, 1 year full-time taught MA in TESOL and EMI. And we're also run intensive courses for our university colleagues who are lecturers and professional staff during the summer. And these are the micro-credentials courses in English medium instruction, which we hope will be available to MA and TESOL and EMI participants as well. I'll tell you a little bit about MA in Applied Linguistics and Intercultural Studies first. This is a unique program in Ireland thanks to its dual focus on the disciplines of applied linguistics and intercultural studies. So in case you're wondering, applied linguistics is the study of language-related problems in real-life context to solve problems in areas like education, translation, and communication. And intercultural studies explores how people from different cultural backgrounds communicate and understand each other. So this is a genuinely interesting program, and it has a multilingual orientation with a focus not only on English, but also other international languages like German, French, and Spanish. And our colleagues from different language sections co-teach on this program. On the next slide, you will see some of the main questions that you will be engaging with if you study the Applied Linguistics and Intercultural Studies program. This is a taught master's, and you will be engaging with questions like how do we acquire and learn different languages in the real world and in the classroom setting? What are the implications of the global shift towards English in ever more multilingual and multicultural societies? Or how does language interact with age, gender, sexuality, biological sex, and social status? And if you're happy answering these questions in our MA program, you can continue your studies to the PhD program if you want to take your inquiries a step further and make a big contribution to exploring an original topic in this field. Then we also have some lists of subjects that are part of the MA in Applied Linguistics and Intercultural Studies. As you see, we offer an interesting and engaging mix of subjects such as applied linguistics, sociolinguistics, global English, TESOL and EMI, bilingualism and multilingualism, language endangerment and revitalization, intercultural studies, language acquisition, and language teaching and learning. As I said, staff from different sections co-teach on this program together. This is a truly interdisciplinary program. We have staff from Spanish, from the German section. We have TESOL staff also teaching on this program, French and Spanish again. We really enjoy teaching together, but I think we wanted to let our students from our ALICE program, as we dearly call them, speak for themselves.
ALICE is an abbreviation for Applied Linguistics and Intercultural Studies.
Sorry, we'll continue.
It is a discipline that's focused on the relationship between linguistics, the scientific study of language, all languages, and real human society.
That looks at how language impacts society and how society impacts language, and our role and position in all of that.
ALICE is all about language and culture. The choice of modules is very vast, ranging from theories of second language acquisition to intercultural competence.
This program was nearly the only one in Europe when I was researching programs that combined all of these areas in such an interesting way.
I chose the MA because I was very interested in how we acquire language and how to maintain language learning motivation.
In ALICE, we come from all over the world, which makes for super interesting classes, bringing diverse perspectives and cultures and ideas, and it just is really nice. You're really experiencing the globalized world within the classroom.
9 months later, I feel much more empowered to pursue my passions and academic interests outside the classroom. It helped me carve a whole new path for my professional development ignited my passion for continuous learning.
This course has really widened my idea of linguistics unimaginably. Include issues around language and migration, for instance, and how language can help in fostering intercultural competence.
So you can see this is Alice is a very engaging and interesting program, and we have contact details for Dr. Elise Ritchie, who's the program director, also available for you on the screen. Another interesting program that I would like to talk to you about is the newly established MA TESOL and EMI that is being offered from September 2026. This is also one of a kind teacher education program with a unique dual focus on both TESOL and EMI, and there are 3 categories of entrance to this program that this is aimed at. The first category is the teachers of English as a second language, or in other teachers of English to speakers of other languages. In other words, TESOL educators. This includes experienced English language teachers who want to improve their practice, and also new entrants to the English language teaching profession with little or no English language teaching experience. The second category includes educators from diverse disciplines who teach their subjects such as maths, business, history, marketing through English as a second language and want to become better at teaching through a second language. And also case studies from all over the world tell us how language specialists can work really well with discipline specialists. So a third category of entrants that we are interested in attracting for this program are people who are interested in the intersection of language and content learning and how to make it more effective in combination. You can contact me. I'm the director of this program that opens in September 2026, and it will be open for registrations in mid-October. But perhaps on the next slide, I'll just take a step further and try and talk you through what the difference is, or what is the similarities between TESOL and EMI. Both are very key terms in English language teaching and how we teach through the English language. So TESOL is the teaching English to speakers of other languages. This is a long-standing approach, where the primary goal of TESOL education is learning the English language. Here, the teachers are language specialists, and the curriculum focus is on teaching language skills. The students' expectation in these kind of programs is to learn English. English medium instruction, on the other hand, is a vastly and very fast-growing phenomenon in international education, where more and more programs all over the world are taught in English by lecturers who are not first language speakers of English, to students for whom English is also a second or an additional language. The primary goal of such programs is content learning through English, thus the acronym English medium instruction. Teachers, they could be primary school teachers, secondary school teachers, university teachers, are subject matter experts. So they know how to teach their subject, but they might not be trained in language teaching. The curriculum focus in EMI programs is on academic content, for example, on the subject itself, and the students' expectation is to learn the subject and also improve their English while using it. You can see there are a lot of interactions within these two, and we are responding directly to the developments in the English language teaching by creating this program. In this taught MA degree, you will critically engage with questions that concern the growing use of English in international education. You will be looking at questions like, how can English be taught for the globalized world? Should EMI instructors be trained in language teaching methodologies? What role does language play in EMI settings? And how can language and subject experts work together? You can see some of the subjects that we offer within this within this taught MA, TESOL, and EMI program, and they include language acquisition, TESOL and EMI methodologies, multilingual learners in classroom, methodologies of language teaching, language awareness. You will also complete a teaching practicum as an internal placement for the program, improving EMI practice and research skills. Some features of MA TESOL and EMI that I would like to point out is that it is a very flexible program. You will be able to choose a specialization in TESOL or EMI, and you will complete a practicum placement that suits your choice, which we guide you through. At the end of the course, you will choose to produce a research thesis, or if you want something more practical, a practice-based capstone project. And also, if you do not wish to pursue the research thesis or the practice-based project, you can exit the program early with a postgraduate diploma certification. I would also like to point out at this point that there will be some partial scholarships for both ALICE, Applied Linguistics and Intercultural Studies, and MA TESOL programs. So if you're interested in hearing more about the scholarships, please get in touch with the International Office and they will share the details when they're available. Okay, we are pretty confident that if you complete MA TESOL and EMI program, you will be very competitive as a graduate in the employment market. MA TESOL and EMI is the only program in Ireland with the dual knowledge in TESOL and EMI. And to our knowledge, this is also a unique program in Europe. It is the only program that offers EMI qualification at a formal postgraduate level, whereas EMI is traditionally the subject of internal or short-term professional development initiatives. So when you obtain your unique certification in both TESOL and in EMI education, you will gain a distinctive skill set as well, and you'll be able to forge a sustainable career as an education professional in the following areas. English language teaching to children, adolescents, adults in primary, secondary, and university settings. Non-language subject teaching through English in primary, secondary, and university settings. You can work in English language teacher education and continuous professional development. You can work on bilingual and multilingual research and policy development. You can also look at curriculum development and instructional design as a career option in various education settings. And you will look at curriculum development and evaluation as well of programs that exist in this space. And if you want to take this program further, your studies further, you can enroll in a master's of research or PhD in applied linguistics and intercultural studies. So we're confident that by completing MA TESOL and EMI, you will gain a unique qualification that will set you up for success in the evolving world of English language teaching. And that brings us to the end of our presentation. To summarize why you should study at the School of Modern Languages, Literatures and Cultures, we would like to say that we are a vibrant academic community of students and staff. We have connections with industry and schools. At postgraduate level, we teach small class sizes. That's not the case for undergraduate, where we have lots of enrollments. And we offer personalized attention and study support. And as you probably have seen by now, we are very keen on interdisciplinary collaboration and research. Our contact details are at the bottom of the screen, and you can always get in touch with the International Office as well if you have any questions about us. I think the registration for all the programs opens in about a week's time, so you will find all the lists of programs and how to apply on our website.
That is great, Julia. Thank you very much. And Rodrigo, thank you very much as well. It was fascinating to listen to all those wonderful programs that you have on offer. I love that one is called ALICE. Very, very nice. It's also new, I guess, to me in the International Office, and to my shame that two of the programs there are unique in Ireland, which is really fantastic for the university. I noticed the wide range of jobs and careers and area of like employment or further studies or whatever that the graduates can go into. Really, they have such a fantastic range of opportunities post-graduation. That's really good to see for them. While we're waiting for some questions to come along, I can just give more general information on Maynooth University for students, for international students in particular. A lot of the time we're asked about accommodation options. We do offer on-campus accommodation. We have a brand new building just opened a few weeks ago, Buckley House, just outside the university gates in the heart of Maynooth itself, a few minutes from the train station, from buses, and only a few minutes walk from all the classrooms and lecture halls. So that brand new facility is just for international students. So students have their own bedroom, their own bathroom, and then their shared kitchen and social areas. Obviously, it's a little bit early to book accommodation for next year, but when the booking time is open, we'll let students know. We have other on-campus accommodation options too, located right on the campus. Again, similar type of setup, your own bedroom, your own bathroom, and a shared living and kitchen area. The prices for these student apartments ranges from about €6,000 up to this. I'm giving this year's prices, €12,000. While the 12,000 might sound a little bit expensive, that covers all the costs. There are no extra electricity, heating, gas bills, anything like that. So all of the charges per month are included in that rent there. Again, it'll be probably later in the year before the accommodation is available for booking for next year. As Julia mentioned, the application portal, which was new last year. Last year we had a lot of news for the university. That we are hoping to have it up and running by mid-October, certainly by late October. We'll be taking in applications, and once they're received and processed by the admissions team, they will be sent then to the departments for their decision. So you should hear fairly quickly back after your application has been submitted. You'll hear from the academics there. So I don't think we have any questions just as yet. You did mention their PhD opportunities. I think they were kind of across the board in all the programs, weren't they, Julia? I know students, every year we have a small number of international students who want to continue their studies, even if they start with a master's for us. I guess it's, again, a rolling admission there for PhD. They just contact a potential supervisor, get in touch with them, and then if they're approved and taken on, they make the formal application to the university. Is that so? Yeah.
That's correct. Yes, it's always a good idea to have a potential supervisor in mind to support you, especially if you plan to apply to external funding schemes. You will be required to make contact with your supervisor. And then it's a structured 4-year PhD program where you take credits in soft skills like research skills, transferable skills, and also very research specific skills specific to your PhD.
Yes, yeah. One question that just came to mind, that you did mention that there was a teaching placement there. Do you help the student secure that, or are they working by themselves to find that?
We're hopeful that we can help our students find placements. As I mentioned, we do run our internal English language programs for international students. So if you're an international student coming to Maynooth, you will meet us at some point. We are confident that we will help our students to either find placements within our programs or within our partners somewhere within Maynooth or Dublin.
Oh, that's great. No, it's always good to know there's a little bit of support there, because I know they sometimes find it a little bit daunting, maybe if they think they have to do everything completely by themselves.
No, there will be support. Absolutely.
Oh, that's really good. I'm just checking here. I don't believe we have any questions as yet. Possibly because your presentation was so good, went into such detail and such depth that the questions and queries have already been answered, I think. Another question that we get asked quite regularly, of course, is the tuition fees, the international fees. We are preparing for the opening of the application portal, and we will have all of that information ready for students. I think we have some of our international agents on the call too, and again, any agent there listening, we'll be in touch very, very soon about preparing for the new cycle. And again, we'll have all the kind of the information at your fingertips to submit your applications. It seems to be a quiet day for questions. So if you don't mind, maybe we'll just give it another moment or two for students to put them in there. But Perhaps they're feeling a little bit shy today, but none appearing just yet for us. Of course, we have your contact details, and I'm sure students are very welcome and free to contact you with any questions that might come to mind after this webinar.
Yes, absolutely. I think the program directors were listed in the slides, so we're always happy to answer questions about the programs we have.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is being recorded, so that will be available too for sharing after the webinar. Okay, well, I think as it is a little bit quiet on the questions there, and you have covered everything in great depth there. We can end this webinar now, and as I say, it has been recorded, so we can share it afterwards, and students are very welcome to contact you too. So my three colleagues, I can ask you if you like, you're very free to leave the call now. I will continue on it just for a moment or two just to tidy up things and finish things off. But thank you very much for your time. Thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to our students today, and we'll be in touch again. Thank you.
Within